Hi, I think we're live. Hi,
Yes, we are.
Vaishak. So, hi everyone. Welcome to Sports Kati. I'm Rohit, and I have with me Vaishak. So, hi Vaishak. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Yeah, couldn't watch all the matches because it's the timing is really bad. But yeah, I watched as much as I can. I'm excited for the Germany match. Yeah, let's see what happens.
Even I couldn't watch all the matches. Timing never works here, but
Yeah.
I did follow. I think most of the matches so far. Anyways, today what are we going to discuss? So, firstly, we will have to discuss about the home teams. So, all the three home teams played. Let's see what we think about it, and also put your comments on who you were impressed with among your home teams. And then, we'll also have to discuss about uh, some select few matches so far. What happened on what really stood out, because we just are coming fresh out of the match of Australia playing Turkey, which for me was an unexpected result. So we will talk about those matches, and then we will also discuss about drinks break, or is it ad break? Because as a football fan following football for a few years now, it's been slightly frustrating to see drinks break. But we will discuss about that more in detail, and then lastly we will talk about the matches to watch in the coming week. What we think are can be the matches to watch, and we'll end it up with the prediction contest and see who is leading their table board as of today. So that's for today, and let's start with the first topic: the host nations. So Vaishak, who has been, or from the three matches that happened so far, which host nations has impressed you the most?
I think so impressed me the most. I think Mexico is the best. But I think when you say impressed me the most, I probably might have to go with Canada because I did not expect that level of performance from Canada. So probably yeah. And USA, I think Panama played a really bad. Sorry, Paraguay played a really bad match on that day. So yeah, even though it was not something that you would say, oh, I expected if you play that kind of a if you really slip up during the World Cup, things can go really haywire, and US really took advantage of it. But yeah, it's been really, as you say, all the three teams have played really good. Mexico, only the thing was it expected that Mexico will play that level, and then they got two red cards as well as South Africa, and it was so easy for Mexico. So uh, yeah, what do you think? You expected all three to do good, so I don't think anyone would have surprised you. It's
I predicted wins for all the home teams. So,
yeah.
but then I would say for me, US, the first half of what US played so far has been the highlight for the tournament for me, because I knew US was good, better than what they have been before. And under Pochettino, I was expecting them to do well, but then to come and what they did was exceptional. Because I understand Paraguay was bad, but the way Pulisic was playing and the first goal, the way he created that, I think the first 20, 30 minutes, oh, it was non-stop USA. I felt they had a real good game plan and some attractive football. The passings, the movement, I think for me, they were the standout host nation. Obviously, the result 4-1 was, justifies it for me. I feel they could have even scored more. There was an close offside goal which USA did score, and I felt after halftime they kind of pulled back a bit because they took out Pulisic for whatever reason. So I felt they actually kind of slowed down the game and they were happy with the 3-0. So in a way, maybe 3-4-1 could have been much worse for Paraguay, but for me, yeah, USA was a standout team. Coming to Mexico, Mexico did well, and I knew for a fact Mexico will do well. For a visiting team, going all the way to Mexico City at that altitude, playing against the crowd was going to be difficult, especially opening game. And I think South Africa struggled. It's not just Mexico doing well, just like USA, Paraguay. South Africa struggled with the pressure initially. The first goal was purely from a mistake from South Africa, so they were not good enough in the beginning. And then the match kind of, I felt Mexico, like US, could have scored more, but they really did not. I think maybe press high enough or press enough to really create more chances, or maybe they just felt they have enough in the bank. But Mexico was impressive, and I expected that from them. I didn't expect that from US, at least the level at which US showed. And Canada, lastly, I expected Canada win, but having said that, even with a 1-1, I felt they were good. Bosnia is a tricky team to play, and Canada to come and obviously being a host nation helps them. But to Canada to play the way they were playing, uh, I think show spirit, and I believe going forward, I'm also expecting Canada to qualify from their group. So that's my prediction. Early prediction for Canada here. I hope they do, and it's the
I
first
think
point they've done.
I mean, with Qatar also drawing with Switzerland, things have become really easy in the Group B. Like it's now really thrown out, and I don't know. Qatar is probably the worst team out of the four, but it's really hard to pick from these three. Like it's going to be tight, the matches between them, and I think whoever plays Qatar should be winning among Canada and Bosnia, probably, because I think Switzerland was very very lazy, very sloppy by the end. So yeah, it's hard. And also for I think Bosnia, they need to find a replacement for Sead Kolasinac, because Kolasinac was a captain and he was the worst player in the playing 11. I don't know if you could find a player worse than him in the Bosnia 11. Because I think there were few sequences where they were passing the ball like against each other and against each other, and Kolasinac gets the ball and he loses the position. So yeah, if Bosnia needs to move forward, I think they need to find a left back, and I don't think they have left backs in the squad itself. Like they have to find some centre back who can play the left back probably.
I know Kolasinac from Arsenal days. He at that time used to be similar, like very poor in defending, but obviously good going forward, because that is what Kolasinac was, more of an FPL attraction when you do Fantasy Premier League. He used to be that person who will give you the odd assist or even score a goal. So I am not surprised that he is not defending well. And if anything, he has only been 6 years older than what he was at Arsenal. So not really surprised with his performance or lack of performance. But I think I don't know what Bosnia's team strength is, so I cannot comment much. But I think being a captain, he will continue playing. And yes,
Jeko
about
might be
the
back. I think Jeko might be back. Once Jeko is back, Jeko is the captain, but he's not the standing captain. But I don't see a left back replacement for Kolasinac, and that's a problem. Like
Zeko, that's a big name to come back to Bosnia. And yeah, it's an interesting group, as you mentioned. Qatar, unexpected result. I couldn't watch the match. That's one of the matches I skipped. So, but Switzerland, I was expecting them to sweep Qatar and to see a last-minute equalizer. Surprising result. I don't know how the match went. Maybe you can touch a bit on how was Switzerland Qatar. We can start with that as one of the matches.
so, yeah, I think there is also one comment that has come regarding the Switzerland Qatar match. Like, was it the hot weather? It probably is, because the match was played in San Francisco, and when you hear San Francisco, you think it's near the coast. But I think probably the stadium is somewhere not near the coast. So even if they call San Francisco, the stadium is somewhere inside, which means it's away from the coastal area. And as you move inside in the California, the temperature does rise. So maybe it was a hot summer thing that actually affected Switzerland not to play, high level football. They didn't have that much energy, and Qatar, being habituated to playing in the hot weather, they didn't find it much tough. Probably, and that's why, like, there was a huge energy. Qatar was playing in those last 10-15 minutes. Qatar really played really well, and again, the same thing. Switzerland should have taken 2 or 3 goals lead when they were actually playing, when they were dominating the game and they were doing things, and they just took it as a stride, and that they can win this easily, and they just it's a point loss for Switzerland, clearly, because they, for the large parts of the game, Switzerland was a better team. And I don't know what will be happening forward, but one thing I can say, all the Asian teams. So I don't think Australia is an Asian team by definition, by geography definition, but Australia is in the Asian Confederation. So all the Asian teams have done really well, and all of them have won. No, I mean, Qatar haven't won, but they have peaked their performance. Like Qatar getting a draw against Switzerland is peak performance. So I'm excited for what is Japan going to do against Netherlands today. Yeah.
Good. That's true. We'll come to the upcoming matches.
Yeah.
Before that, so far from the matches, which matches stood out for you?
I think today's match stood out really. Like Australia Turkey was that it was really good. Like I mean, I watched it fully as well, and I had players whom I'm interested in it. Like we gave a shout out to Kenan Yildiz. He came in the second half. He was really good. The only problem was that he was stuck in that left wing position, which was very wide. And by the time he gets the ball and he comes inside, is not it's not near the goal. He does not have he can't see the goalpost near him. So if he got into better positions and if they could get him to the better positions, Turkey could have scored something. And also, I mean, I'm a fan, I'm a Sampoli fan, and the Australian captain plays for Sampoli. The guy who scored for Australia, Metcalf, plays for Sampoli. So yeah, I do have players from Australia whom I'm interested in, and yeah, I really enjoyed them winning this match.
I think I see a comment again.
Yeah, Qatar
You put
played
it on
better
the
second half. Yeah, Qatar played better second half. Yeah, that's what's I
yeah,
comment.
and
Yeah,
that's and also
last
I'm,
15
I'm
minutes especially. Yeah,
yeah. So there's one more comment coming in. I'm saying interesting result, and that's what I was going to touch upon. I have two matches I want to talk
yeah,
about interesting results, which I felt
yeah,
good
yeah.
matches so
It's
far.
more. Yeah,
Brazil, Morocco. Brazil,
yeah,
Morocco, I'll tell you totally, this is what we hyped. In the last podcast, we mentioned that Brazil, Morocco is going to be one of those matches to watch out for. Because Brazil is ranked 6 in the world, Morocco is ranked 7. Everyone thinks Brazil has a traditional powerhouse and Morocco has this, country which is maybe not so good. So it is not what the situation is. They are not this African country which is just coming up. They are having some really good players. And last World Cup, they reached semi-finals, and for me, that was just a start. In the last 29 matches, Morocco has not lost a single match. I mean, if you consider the AFCON final as not a loss. Okay.
yeah.
So, so in that way, it was not really a surprising result for me, but that match, for me, from a quality point of view, was the best match. Initially, Morocco came and started really well. I think the first 30 minutes, or let's put it in the new American method, the first quarter one, the Q1, basically Morocco dominated, and the goal was well justified. For me, that was I did not. I expected Morocco to play well, but I expected them to sit back more. I know they changed their coach recently after the AFCON result, but I actually expected them to sit back. But they were on the front foot, and that is really good. And they scored the first goal, beautiful chip goal. I think the first goal in this World Cup, which was scored from outside the box. After that, we saw the Australian goal, which came outside. But for now,
I,
yeah.
I just had one point to make. So there is a difference between Morocco that was playing in the World Cup and being a Manchester United fan. You might know that the midfield has changed. Manchester United got a taste of the Moroccan midfield after the World Cup. So you should remember the player who is not playing now for Morocco, and right now the player who's playing for Morocco. So a point to add up. Yeah, carry on.
Sorry, I did not catch who you are talking about here.
There is a Morocco player who moved to Manchester United after the World Cup, right?
Okay, I'm trying to recollect,
Oh,
not getting.
okay.
And
Anyway,
Mazraoui is
carry on.
playing in the defense.
No, not Masravi. There was I forgot the name. I again forgot the name. So sorry,
Okay,
sorry. Okay,
okay, I
carry
don't
on.
know.
But the midfielder did really good
Okay.
in this match. Yeah, yeah.
If you're talking about Amrabat, then he
Yes.
was on loan for a year, so
Yeah.
I don't consider him to be a Manchester United player. So, anyways, coming to the Morocco game, then in that game, then we saw that 1 minute of I would say flair, skill, talent. Oh, that was just beautiful. That I think that's one of the things where when Vinicius Junior cut through the left wing and scored that goal, that was just showing that is Brazilian magic. And unfortunately, this team has very limited Brazilian magic. And even worse, the squad picked, the 11 picked. I think apart from Vinicius Junior and Rafinha, I don't think anyone is that flair player, anyone who can really create magic. The remaining all are like, I wouldn't say the traditional Brazilian players we think of. They are not there. I actually was thinking, with João Pedro not being picked in the Brazilian squad itself, super surprising for me. And then Kuna not starting, went with Paqueta, more practical pick there. I felt Ancelotti was playing in a more safe space there, which kind of affected them. But nevertheless, after the goal, Brazil came back into the game, and the game became more even. And from then on, I felt it was more of an even game. Brazil played their part. Casemiro struggled a lot in the midfield and was rightly taken off after halftime. Similarly, I don't know. I was surprised to see the right back was an Al Ali player. I don't know him, so and he was also taken off at halftime. And then Fabinho and Danilo came in, which is where I would have expected them to start with initially. And it really, the match kind of was, I would say, the highest quality match so far we have had, and the first real big match of this tournament. So for me, that was the best match so far. But I want to take one more small peek at another match which I felt was very interesting, and a result which I did not expect so much was South Korea coming back and winning 2-1 against Czech. For first half again, South Korea did not score a goal in the first half, but that first 45 minutes, South Korea was dominating. And the player who did not do well was Heung-min Son. I expected Son to do the heavy lifting, but I think maybe Son is aging, and that was maybe kind of showing. He had some good chances. Son did not do well, and I felt South Korea, kind of lost their game after that. In the second half, when Czech scored, I felt okay, maybe Czech is not going to concede now. But to come back and win 2-1, it's exceptional. I felt that was the other match, which was good, or a good match for me to watch. Go ahead, Vaishal. Anything to add
No,
on?
they were smart. They were smart. All the Asian teams were smart. As in, they got their tactics right. They didn't play very negative football or anything as such. As well, like even if in this, when I say negative football, I'm fine with parking the bus, but I'm not fine with what Arsenal does. Like going and untying others' shoelaces, going and hitting the goalkeeper. I'm not fine with all those stuff. So they didn't do any of those stuff, but they played smart. They played. I mean, Australia was parking the bus today. They didn't want to commit the numbers forward. They knew they had their strengths in the counter attacks, so they were absolutely fine with Turkey taking the ball, and I'm fine with people doing that. And when they had the ball as well, they were playing from the back. They were passing against each other. They knew how, they had the composure. Same thing with South Korea. When they got the ball, they knew what to do. So I missed the first half because I was sleeping, and then I only watched the second half, and that was pretty even. So it was not like the Czech was struggling, but the first half, yeah, Czech Republic was actually struggling. So yeah, I feel the Asian teams are. I mean, it's a huge improvement compared to the previous World Cup, to see that Asian teams are finally there. They are actually representing. It's not just in numbers. They are playing good football. They are playing smart football. They're playing as a team. It's not about, you see Australia, I don't know any player. South Korea, I don't know any player, but they have a team. They have a team playing. They have a plan, and they know what to do. Yeah, that's.
I saw a comment saying had Rafina in my fantasy team. So just to touch
Yeah.
upon, yeah, I mean, I
Oh
have
yeah.
fantasy. I have Rafina in my fantasy team, and I agree with that. It was disappointing from Rafina's point of view. He had a very close chance in, I think, the 60th minute or so, where he missed it by a moment. But yeah, I think investing in Brazil from a fantasy point of view is going to be risky because they're expensive players, and I don't think, and that group is not going to be easy, because you saw, I did not watch the match, but Scotland Haiti was another match I skipped. Scotland and Haiti are not going to be matches where I think they're going to feast on. They might win the matches, but not feast on. Anyways, let's jump on to, I see another comment on upcoming matches. We'll come to that in some time. But before that, let's come to a very controversial discussion here.
Yeah.
That is about the drinks break, which is scheduled in every single match, irrespective of what the weather is. Vaishak, what's your take on this?
So now, if you are someone who watches club football, it is not there, and then you can come out and say, "Oh, this is something that should not be there at all," and this is absolute rubbish. But no, if you watch matches during the breaks, during the summer breaks, when there are training matches and when there are friendlies, club friendlies, we do have drinks break, and the reason is because most of the times we might be playing in the hot weather, and drinks break is not something that is not done. I mean, maybe if you're playing in Saudi Arabia, you would need drinks break if you're playing in the early evening or things like that. So I'm not completely against it, but my problem is this drinks break is not for the players. It's for you to show the ads, and every broadcaster has been uh, actually the FIFA have sold all the telecasting rights at such a high level with the intention that you can show more ads. So it is part of the deal that the telecast has to show ads. Like the telecast cannot survive without showing those ads, and that's a problem. So the players are going for the drinks break. They don't want to drink. They don't want to drink water. It's fine. It's fine whether they want to go back and play, but they are being forced to say no, 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 no. You have to wait. You can't go and play now because there are more ads to show. The drinks break has not ended, and that for me is insane for a World Cup which said no, we will be punishing time wasting. And especially we saw that in the Bosnia match, Sad Kolasinac, also an Arsenal player, doing the Arsenal tactic of not throwing the ball and standing there with the ball. And after 5 seconds, you said, no, no, now it's the chance of Canada to do the throw. And I was very happy seeing at that. And I like that initiative. But then coming from that and going for the hydration break is like, that's something I can't accept. I mean, as when the temperature is high, yes, but even when the temperature is high, when you're showing the hydration break, that's a time for you to show what happened in the match. Like, show me the highlights, right? No, going back to the ads is like, no, I cannot accept it as a football fan, someone who watches on the TV. And for someone who watches in the stadium, it would be really, really frustrating as well.
I agree with you totally. I completely agree with you. I understand the spirit of having a drinks break during hot days. But today, just now, Australia was playing Turkey in Vancouver, and I was looking at the temperature in Vancouver. It's 20 degrees Celsius in the night, and I'm very sure this is not requiring a drinks break of 3 minutes per half to really stop it. For me, there needs to be some kind of logic because football is a game which is unlike cricket or other sports where it's stop and start. Football is a game which actually plays on continuous flow, and the momentum actually is very important for a team when they are growing into the game. And such drinks break in between, when not required, can cut the momentum off. It can become a strategic break rather than drinks break. So this for me, one thing the ad break comes in. I'll come to that point, but making it a more a strategic break then becomes a concern for me because it's changing the game. You're making it a game of 4 quarters rather than 2 halves. So and I think the worrying part for me is the ad part because I'm worried is that now people are finding that, or when I say people, the big businesses are finding that you can put ads there and you can actually stop the game to get an ad break, and that means money is coming in. And whenever money comes in, these things tend to stick on, and I'm really worried about that. This can stick on because when I say stick on, I'm saying into coming tournaments, coming even possibly into leagues, because that is a source of cash flow. This for me is a risk here. I'm not a fan of it, and I completely agree with what you said. And just you touched upon something interesting, the throw-in timing. I am super aligned with all that. Throw-in timing, very good. The corner kicks. Now there's a war review on corner kicks, and the best of the lot I saw was, I think it was Almiron. Maybe I'm wrong. I
Yeah,
forgot who the
USA
player was.
Paraguay. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was Almiron
He
who actually
dived.
got a
Yeah,
yellow card for
yeah,
diving.
for
And I
diving.
was like,
Yeah,
this is
yeah.
excellent. This
Yeah.
is something which needs to be there. I really hope this is a thing that comes into European leagues. They take in these things and not the drinks break when they come to
Yeah,
European leagues starting. So, anyways, I see a comment here saying NBA takes 60 seconds. You
yeah,
can put on the screen. Yeah,
yeah.
timeout. But basketball is played on smaller stadiums.
No,
Yeah,
I don't think you
yeah,
can compare. You can't compare basketball with football. It's a different game. It's a completely different game. Also, I mean, you have 24 seconds to score in NBA. That's not there in football. Like you can't say like, oh, you don't score in 50 seconds. Give the ball to the other team. No, that's not. That doesn't happen, right? That's not how you play football. Yeah, it's a different game.
it's different games. Yeah, I
Yeah.
completely agree. So, okay, so let's move on now to the next topic, which is the matches to watch. So, I think we can put a comment on because I think someone has commented saying eagerly waiting for Germany match today. So
Yeah,
maybe we'll start from there. Vaishak, you are a German fan.
yeah. I
How
mean,
much are you looking forward to it?
uh, I'm looking forward to the fact that the big players are rested and we can Germany can still win this. I really, I mean, I don't want this. This is again like the Mexico South Africa match where I do think Germany should dominate. Um, or maybe even the Switzerland Qatar match. Like I don't want that to happen. Like Germany being very complacent in the start, and especially with players who are half fit like Musiala. I do think he needs to be rested. And so interestingly, there was Jurgen Klopp and Thomas Müller, who's in the German TV, and they said it's better to start Dennis Undav instead of Jamal Musiala, and they're facing a huge backlash. So like, how can you drop Jamal Musiala? Like, what kind of people are you? And I think they do have a point. Musiala, if you play him from the start, I don't think he will survive this whole tournament if Germany is planning to go deeper. But if it's 3 or 4 matches and then you're planning to come back after round of 32 or round of 16, then there is you can play Musiala from the start, and we'll see what happens.
I think his comment also, because he's a fantasy fan, I find there might be some elements of fantasy league into it. So if that is a note, it's a warning for you. Musiala might not be a good fantasy pick. I think Havertz might be a safe one because I'm hearing Havertz might be playing up front. And Germany is going to score in a simple thing. The match, as a neutral, I find it's going to be one-sided. It's going to be, 3-0, 4-0 at least. So
hopefully,
I want Kurgao to, however you pronounce the team, to do well.
Curacao, yeah.
Curacao,
so,
to do well. But I think it's an uphill task. For me, matches to watch. There are 2 matches back-to-back coming tonight. For me, I cannot watch both, and I want to watch, but unfortunately, I will have to go for work tomorrow. So, but for me, those are 2 big matches to watch in this coming week. And first is Netherlands-Japan. Netherlands is considered as many as a dark horses of this tournament. I heard an expert prediction saying, or from a statistical point of view, saying that Netherlands are supposed to win this tournament. I don't think so, but Netherlands has a very good team. They are a very good dark horses. I expect them to reach quarterfinals. If they don't, it's a disappointment for them. So they are a very good team. Japan, from what I've been hearing, this is their golden generation. There are a couple of injuries. Mitoma will not be there in the squad. Endo recently pulled out. But nevertheless, every 26 players of their team are playing in Europe. And I think this has never happened before. And playing in Europe generally means they're playing at a high level. So Japan team this time is very good. So Netherlands, Japan, for me, the winner today will top the group for them. It's not a very important match because their group is basically both of them should qualify. But whoever wins today can top the group. And for me, that is important. Because if I remember right, if they don't top the group, they end up playing Brazil or whoever is coming in top of their group. So I think that's where it comes in. So I think interesting match for them in that perspective. That's the first one. And second one I won't touch upon. Vaishak, sorry, you want something?
So, no. So Brazil and Morocco doesn't make a difference, right? So I mean that also does matter. I mean, I don't think this the one who finishes first will face the second from the other group. It doesn't work that way, but yeah.
Yeah, I think if I find right, I think so. I don't know, but I don't remember the order in which. Okay, so that's the one point. And second match I'm really interested is Ivory Coast versus Ecuador. 2 big teams. You talk about dark horses. You talk about young players who you really want to look on. And I will just name, because people who are following this definitely follow European leagues. We talked about Yan Diamonde maybe during our first session, maybe a couple of weeks back. Ivory Coast has such beautiful attacking players. Yan Diamonde is one. Amad Diallo from Manchester United. So he's another one. They also have Adingra. Again, Premier League fans will know. And also Nicolas Pepe, who is ex-Premier League, ex-Arsenal player. But definitely, obviously not up to the level of Diamonde or Diallo. But again, a very good player. I don't know whether he'll start. But these are some few handpicked names. And there's also the sporting defender, Diamonde again, who is highly rated. I think many of the big European clubs are looking to sign him up. So he's another big player there in Ivory Coast. So there are some big names there. And same with Ecuador. Ecuador has in a different style. So when Ivory Coast has all the attacking flair, Ecuador comes with all the defensive flair. They have the big defensive names. Some Premier League names. Hincapi, the Arsenal defender. So he is one of their defenders there. Estupinian, I think he plays midfield in the midfield for Ecuador, but I think nevertheless he is a big player. Pacho, if anyone remembers the Champions League final or follows PSG, Pacho is going to be a big name in this World Cup for Ecuador. So he's there. And then there is also always Caicedo, the Chelsea defensive midfielder. Caicedo will play slightly, I think, more forward today for Ecuador because for Ecuador, I think he is their main player. He will run the midfield, so I think he will play more as an 8, not as a traditional 6 as what Chelsea is used to. So these are some few names, and one name for people who have been following World Cup football for long. Their striker, I still think, might be Ener Valencia. So
Oh.
those who have followed Ecuador for long, I think Ener Valencia is their striker still. I'm not very sure who will he start or not, but I saw his name and I was like, wow, this will be good to watch. So these are the two matches I feel good to watch. I have one more, but I think Vaishak, what do you think? What is your watch matches to watch?
No, I mean I haven't completely looked the schedule, but yeah, but these two for today, these two are the interesting matches. Yeah, I completely agree. Yeah.
Okay. In that case, I would want to mention one more before we go to the prediction contest, which is France Senegal. So because before we meet, France is going to play Senegal, and Senegal
I
has some.
I
Yeah,
don't think. I mean, Senegal is an aging. It's an aging team. Yeah, they did well in the African Cup, but then it's a tournament. Let's see. I'm not hyping up Senegal as much. I'm not saying they're bad, but what I'm saying is that I'm not reading up the fact that they were the finalists. They actually won the African Cup. If you take it another way, um, I'm not I'm not sold out. I mean, I might think teams like Algeria maybe, or even Ivory Coast may be better than Senegal. That's yeah. Yeah.
maybe. Ivory Coast is definitely. I'm not rating Ivory Coast versus Senegal, maybe, but I think Senegal, France, because again, I am talking for the fans here, European League fans, Premier League fans. Senegal has, if you all remember, Mamadou Sarr, Chelsea youngster coming up, Koulibaly, Malik Diouf, West Ham winger or wing back, you call him. He's highly touted. I think many clubs are now chasing him. There's Gana Gay from Everton, Pape Sarr from Spurs, Ismail Sarr from Crystal Palace. He is the main kingpin by which Crystal Palace won the European trophy. So Ismail Sarr, Sadio Mane, maybe time is up for him, but nevertheless, and Nicholas Jackson, Bayern Munich player, come Chelsea player.
No.
So uh, Nicholas Jackson, and lastly, but I don't know whether he's still a PSG player or not. But Ibrahim Mbaye, I think I don't know whether PSG released him or not, but he is also in the Senegal squad. So some big names there. Now how they will play will be seen. But I think for me, obviously they cannot. They can put a fight with France, but France is miles better. But I think they can really on their day. These players I mentioned can turn up and really create a contest. So important match for Senegal too because they are in a tough group. That group, which France and Senegal and Norway coming in there, it's a tough group to be in. So let's see what they can do there. So that's pretty much from the matches to watch for me. Anything else to add, Vaishak?
No, nothing else to add. So I don't think you haven't put any matches to predict this time, is it?
I have the last section. I
Oh,
have
okay,
few
yeah, yeah.
questions for you,
Yeah,
Vaishak,
yeah, okay,
and
okay,
for
okay. Then I'm
everyone.
moving to that. Yeah, yeah. I'm
And
moving
for
to that.
everyone
Yeah,
online. So this
yeah,
is
yeah.
basically today's prediction contest. By the
Okay.
way, I am leading Vaishak by 30 points to 10. And there is also someone who commented, I don't know, I'm pronouncing the name
Sunita,
correctly, the
Sunita.
Sunida Erumavil. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
So they have 10 points. So I had got
Oh.
the Mexico points, the goals points, and the USA points there. So 30. So today's question, Vaishak, for you.
Uh.
Netherlands, Japan. Who is going to win the match?
I would like to predict a draw. Yeah, I mean, I would like to go with the flow. All
Okay.
Asian teams are doing well, so yeah, I want a draw. I want a draw. I want
Okay.
Japan to do
Perfect.
good. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. I put that there. Now, next one is a tricky question. Germany is playing, as you know,
Uh,
today Curacao.
uh,
Spain is going to play Cape Verde tomorrow night. And
uh,
then there is Portugal playing Iraq, if I am right. And
okay.
Norway is playing Iraq and Portugal is playing DR Congo. Of these four teams, that is Germany, Spain, Portugal, Norway, which team will score the maximum number of goals in their first opening match?
So Norway is playing Congo, right? I go with
Norway is
Norway.
playing Iraq. Norway is playing Iraq. Portugal is playing
Okay, okay.
Congo.
Portugal is playing Congo. Okay, okay.
Yeah.
There is a chance it's Norway. Yeah, yeah. I would
Okay.
like to go with Norway. I would like to go with
Okay.
Norway. Yeah.
I am
Or it
also
could be
going with Norway.
Germany. It could be Germany, but it's between Germany and Norway. Because I have a feeling Cape Verde might be able to block Spain. It could be. Yeah, let's go with Norway. Yeah, yeah.
And I've gone with Norway. I've gone with Netherlands for the first one, just for
Oh,
information.
okay,
And
okay, okay, good.
Next one is very easy. I think you are already having a thing, but I just want to put it up because I hyped it as a big match. So France
Mm.
versus Senegal. Who are you going for?
France, yeah. Mm.
France. That's easy. And the next one is Ivory Coast and Ecuador. We talked about it.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Uh, Again, I think Ivory Coast might do this one. Ivory Coast might be
Right?
able to do this one. I
So the attack is going to win
South
over the
American
defense.
the South American teams are not have not done really well this time, and yeah, I would like to see Ivory Coast do well. I want to see. I mean, I am more interested in the players in Ivory Coast rather than the ones in Ecuador. Yeah.
I'm going Ecuador. So let's see. And the last
Yeah.
one, just to make our English fans happy here. So England versus Croatia, which was the 2018 semi-finals. So who are you going with?
I think this time it has to be England, but this could be Croatia. They are developing, so yeah. I mean, for a bet, you have to go with England. This could be a draw, though, but I don't see Croatia beating England. Let's see, England win.
Okay.
That's the prediction. Yeah. Oh, there is a
Okay.
Croatia win as a prediction now. Okay, someone
Okay.
was predicting Croatia win. Let's see.
Okay. Okay. That's
Okay,
good. That's
so
interesting. So
yeah.
okay.
So put all in the comments, right? Put all these questions, just note down and all together
I'll
in
put
the
in the
comments.
comments. I will do
Yeah.
that.
And yeah.
Okay. Thank you. That's from my side. Anything else to add before we close?
No, I think yeah. Let's see what happens next time. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, this we have voted for different results, so let's see. There could be, maybe you are leading by a huge margin, or maybe I come straight up to you. Let's see.
Okay. Thank
Okay.
you. See you
Yeah.
until
See
next time.
ya.
Bye bye.
Let's end. Yeah. Bye bye.